Happy Tuesday, everybody. It's your Patsy, and I'm I'm sitting here and starting to get messages. So I just decided to turn on the recorder, and if it's coherent, I'll post it. So Spirit is Spirit said that for some of you, and this goes for anyone that's involved in any kind of messy uh, love situation, twin flame, soulmate, regular, run of the mill. I don't know. Whatever. I don't want to limit it because even if you don't choose to label your connection, you may be experiencing this interference at this time. Well, it's been going on for a long time. Okay. So for someone, some of you, not everybody, um, it seems to be multiple barriers to your union. And so Spirit is saying that they want you to call it out, not as far as to announce and identify the names publicly. I mean, maybe you could, whatever. But if you're not in the position to do that, even just writing their names, if you know their names, if not, just write out the situation, okay? But the different blockages, identify the different components of it, if you know there's more than one. Like if it's a job and it's a family, or it's a distance, or it's a relative, or it's a friend, or it's an addiction, or it's a secret, whatever. You don't even know what it is, but you know it's something. But whatever it is, it's compiled with something else, right? Mm-hmm. The Serenity Prayer says that we should um, change the things that we can change, accept the things that we can't change, and give us the wisdom to know the difference, right? So I think, okay, separating those different components of this blockage, because for some of you, it's a lot of different things. A lot of different things. It could be financial. Um, it could be allergies to an animal that one of you loves, or doesn't want to get rid of. That would be considered a third party, actually, because third parties aren't always somebody is having an affair. Okay, so let's just the third. You're one party. Let's put it like this: divine feminine, your party number one; divine masculine, your party number two; and whoever or whatever the interference is, party number three. Okay, so it doesn't always have to be, you know, a rival or something like that. But for some of you, you know that that is one of the components of the blockage. So see what you can change physically in a 3D of any of those blockages. Is it in your power in any way to change the situation when it comes to that particular blockage? I mean, open up lines of communication with a person, confront a situation, maybe um, move, get a second job. Um, I don't know what you do about the pet thing. That's a different one, but maybe you can come up with something creative if you talk about it. You know, Google it. You know, maybe people have those kind of problems. I don't know. I'm sure people do, and maybe they found solutions for it. All right. Maybe somebody's sister or brother can hold the dog and adopt it, and the one that isn't allergic will be able to spend time with that dog still if it's not too far away, that type of thing, or have a good friend, or get it its own room. Get a bigger apartment where the dog, has its own room. I don't, or the cat has her own room and it's all full of nice things, and you go in there and play with it, and maybe just having a wall is enough to keep your partner's allergies down. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, back to this. But that is a problem for some people, and I don't know how you fix stuff like that. But I know that there's people out there who have had those situations, and if I do post this, if you've had a situation like that with the pet thing, and you found a way to compromise, put that in the comments, please, because that must be something serious, because that I'm stuck on that. So please, if you know, okay, you can think of a creative solution for someone who is allergic, their partner is allergic to their pet, or they're allergic to their partner's pet, and what would be a solution for something like that besides drugging people? I mean, you can take baby Benadryl, that works, that does work. You could take children's Benadryl, a children's dosage. Now, is that something? Take it when you're walking, when you're coming home, or when you're in the house, when you're out. It's baby. It's not, come on. Is it worth the investment? I don't know. It's up to you. It's going to be long term. Or maybe not. Maybe you build up immunities after a while. But who knows? But it works. I know that. Um, moving on. Back, right? Okay. So, anyway, tackling all of those different components of it, whatever the situation is. Change what you can, accept what you can't. Know that way you know the difference. You know which things are within your power and which things are not within your power. And know that you always have free will to go or to stay. Even though your divine guidance is telling you to stay, or you have a choice to go against your own intuition. And you know that. We do that every day with all kinds of stuff that are not as that we feel are not as important, but some of those things might even be life threatening. Take chances all the time, right? There are things that we do that logically shouldn't work, but it works anyway. We gamble. We all do in some way or another throughout our lives. Maybe not a lot, but there are things that hey, you gamble when you close your eyes that you're going to wake up in the morning. Because tomorrow is not promised. I'll say. The next second isn't promised, folks. And we know that. So while we are I hear these beautiful birds chirping outside my window. I say. Um, this is going to be, this is not going to last forever, folks. It may last 4 weeks, it may last 2 weeks, it may last 8 weeks, it may last the whole summer. Who knows? And so you have different things that you can do with all of this time. And tempers are going to get flared because people are in close quarters. Children are going to get antsy. Um, you know, how many board games can you get, and how soon can the order be filled? Because who's working? You know, we may have to revert to teaching the kids the games that we used to play, like Skelly and Double Dutch and Hopscotch and tic tac toe on the chalk on the street or the floor. Okay, if you can, things like that. You know, keep that in mind for when it gets real crunch time. Consider which games that you played as a kid would you want your kids to learn. Chinese handball, where you hit the if you have a good wall with no windows somewhere outside, you hit the ball on the curb, and the ball hits the building and comes back to you. You have to see it, but it's cool. Brooklyn, Brownsville, we know what's up. Anyway, um, think of things to do with your children. Be patient with them. Make sure that they have their lunches like they would have in school. And those of you who have vouchers and things like that, do the right thing. Be grateful for this time, that you're getting a chance to spend time to get to know your children. Because when you are working, you don't get this time. And now you have the luxury of getting to bond in a positive manner with your kids. So look at it like a paid vacation, but it's a stay vacation. And try to make it a learning experience. Again, talk about your family tree. Start doing your research. You can do ancestry. You could send your samples to the labs, and it might be backed up for a while, I guess. But you can do that by mail without going out the house, right? As long as the post office is still delivering. Thank you, postal workers. Thank you, bus drivers and grocery store owners and grocery store clerks and construction workers and UPS and Uber and DoorDash and Grubhub and everybody, the sanitation guys and ladies who work, in all these public works places, who are keeping our outside lives a little consistent, a little normalized, a little normalized, all right? Um, and we don't know how long that's going to last either, but we thank you, along with the doctors and the nurses and the orderlies and the housekeeping staffs and the officer at the front desk and the security around the building and those people who are working in mental health facilities in these situations. We're praying for you and your clients and their safety. We're praying for the homeless and those who feel alone, because there's some people who are alone, who don't even have a sibling, a friend, or a child. They're by themselves, and the only friendships that they were able to maintain were in church or in their social groups or in their 55 plus clubs and that kind of stuff. And yes, it's slowing us down so we can, get to know more about ourselves and whatever. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm so sorry. I was interrupted, but apparently for good reason. Um, so as I was saying, I think we need to look at the blockages, if any, besides this isolation. Or it could be the isolation and the other thing. Again, that would be another layer, right, of blockage. Following orders for your own safety, for safety of your neighbors, safety of the world, right? So we're confined, right? And some of us have found creative ways to contact one another normally, like doing FaceTime and things like that. And there are other people that, for whatever reason, um, don't want to communicate like that with their partners. Maybe they're not good with electronics. Maybe they're being watched. Maybe they're being monitored. Or maybe that's just part of their control nature. And that's something else that you need to consider during this time. What is this person's reason for not taking advantage of the ways that they can communicate with you without tapping into your mental energy, right? Can they call you? Can they text you? Can they video chat with you, right? And why not? Do you know? And is that okay? And if that's the case, then what about it'll change if we're doing this forever? Something to consider for some of you. The things that you can change. Again, we're not going to be doing this forever. That was just being, dramatic. But again, it could be a little while. But it's for a purpose. It is for a purpose. And it's for us to become purposeful, okay, and mindful, and sensitive to the energies. Pay attention. If you're having discourse in your home, it's more than likely that same energy is replicating itself somewhere else connected to you. 6 degrees of separation type thing. That's what they just said. Okay, like that type of thing. But just the same way that these experiences and this spiritual awakening are for collective, meaning that it affects more than a few people. There's a collective of people that can resonate with this certain feeling or these certain feelings at these certain times as they are awakening, certain ones at different times and at different paces, right? So if we know that that can happen on our side of things, on the light, be sure that the dark is awakening also. And I did mention this before in one of the readings, a couple of times, I believe, even on the lives, that the same way, we're awakening and we're evolving, so are they. That's why we're at this place now. Okay? And I was speaking yesterday to one of my clients, and as I was speaking to her, I did start a channeling then. It said that no season for old men is what we're dealing with. The patriarchy is on its final gasp. It's on its last leg, and it has summoned it's just grasping, like it's going under is drowning, and it's holding on for dear life. And they are pulling out all the stops across the world. This new world order is not what the feminine is not about a decision that the women are making. This is a decision that men, the patriarchy, or those tied into it, are making in order to retain their power. All right? And the thing is, because everybody being shut inside and just being, stipend and fed like we're in zoos or something, only those people who are doctors and essential, that kind of stuff, when things get back down to normal. Let me tell you, some of these places are going to get used to this, some of these dictators. So be mindful of that also. This is like a test. This is like, we're in a laboratory. They're already trying to get to the moon, living on Mars and all this other stuff. They got, let me tell you, they got long-term plans, folks. Even though they're dropping off, they're passing away, they're holding on to power. They're grasping at it, and they're trying to model for their sons and grandsons behind them, right? Because even if they pass on, they still want this system to continue, right? They're telling you, oh, your grandmother's expendable. Really? Your grandmother and your grandfather are expendable. Okay. For the sake of children that aren't even here yet, but yet and still you against abortions, right? I don't get that. You throw your mother under the bus, but some child that you don't know from people that you have nothing to do with and that you ain't going to feed or clothe, you all up in their business, and now you're like, oh, okay, well, we'll give it to grandma so that the kids that are here can live. I can't with you people. Anyway, move on. That's not this. That's not what this is. Sorry. Meanwhile, while I was on that pause there, I was led to get the numerology deck. And then my son brought a deck to me. I asked him for the tarot of the Orisha of the tarot, and he brought me the tarot of the Orisha. So, and that's not his fault, because this is a new deck, and I have decks all over the place at this point. So, but I think it was meant, because when I opened up the book to look inside of it, because it does come with a book, the chapter I opened to was about numbers. So I said, okay. It's very interesting, actually, where it led me. And it's on page number 29, which is 11. Oh, okay. Well, let's see. This is a lot, but this is from the Tarot of the Orisha companion book created by Zolrak and Durkon, and this is from Llewelyn Publishers. All right. Quote, in the 6th century BC, Pythagoras assigned a numerical value to each letter of the alphabet. He believed that things are numbers, that the essence of all worldly things could be expressed in numerological terms. He further stated that numbers should be represented by arranging points in a certain order. Ashe. If we think about this, we will see that we actually move in a space that, if measured, will be expressed as a certain number. If infinity, that number will be represented by a horizontal 8, while if we consider it as pure nothingness, we will write a 0. Okay. We also resort to numbers to express a specific period of time, such as a certain number of days, months, or years, or how long it takes the Earth to complete a revolution around the sun, which is to say 365 days, which is 3 plus 6 plus 5, which equals 14. And 14 is 1 plus 4, which equals 5. And 5 is the number of man. Or in other words, twice 7. So 14 is twice 7. Even that which seems eternal or spiritual and artistic, such as music, is governed by numerological values. It has rhythm, like our heartbeats, whose harmony, if not respected, will create problems for us. Right? Because if your heart beats off, there's a problem, right? The numbers most commonly used by esoterics. The number 3 represents the Holy Father, the Trinity, the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. 3 theological virtues, faith, hope, and charity. The 3 champions of justice, the 3 musketeers, the 3 magi from the east. 3 operations compressed to the literal Kabbalah. Gematria, Notrigon, and Tamura. I'll spell that for you. His first word is Gematria. The second word is Notriqon. And the last word is Temurah. The number 7. This is a magical number. The revelation of the mystery, the creative number par excellence. God created the world in 6 days and rested on the 7th day. This is the number preferred by African tradition. We talk about the 7 African powers, the 7 most dearly beloved Orisha, 7 musical keys, which are the key of Sol in the second line, right? So, Let me see. Y'all know. Doe, a deer, a female deer. Ray, a drop of golden sun. Me, a name, a call myself. Fa, a long, long way to run. So, a needle pulling thread. Fa, a note that follows so. Tea, a drink with jam and bread that will bring us back to do, 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 do. Okay, so soul is the seventh. So, okay, seventh key on the musical scale. Soul is sun. Okay. The key of fa in the fourth and third lines, and the key of do in the first, second, third, and fourth lines. The 7 musical keys, which are the key of soul in the second line, the key of fa in the fourth line and third lines, and the key of do on the first, second, third, and fourth lines. The 7 wise men of Greece, among whom we can mention Thales, I know how to say this one, Thales. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce these. I'll be honest. Anaximander, which is Anaximander, and Anaximenes, 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 Anaximander, Thales. Okay, these were astrologers, geographers, and surveyors. 7 elements forming man according to the Kabbalah. The 7 deadly sins, which are pride, anger, lust, envy, sloth, covetousness, and gluttony. The 7 plagues of Egypt. The 7 chakras. The 7 periods into which the year is divided, each of 52 days. 5 and 2 equals 7, of which the first period before the birthday is the most negative of all. Astrologically, the sun has not yet started to govern completely. Okay, so the first period before the birthday is the most negative of all astrologically, because the sun has not yet started to govern completely. Okay. The 7 schools of yoga in India: Raja, Karma, Jnana, Hatha, Laya, Bhakti, and Mantra. 7 days of the week. The 7 Hermetic principles: mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, generation. The 7 Hermetic principles: mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, ding, cause and effect, and generation. The numbers 11, 22, and 13 are considered, and 33 are considered master numbers. Number 11 starts the second cycle after 10 is reached, twice repeating the number 1, which is the starting number, the beginning, considered to be the number that governs creation. Number 22 represents twice the action of 11 and 22 branches of the tree of the Kabbalah. Number 33 triples the action of the first master number, is the highest both in numerical order and in importance, and represents the age of Christ, the great enlightened master. And if we add 1 plus 2, we'll get 1 plus 1 equals 2, 2 plus 2 equals 4, 3 plus 3 equals 6, and 2 plus 4 plus 6 equals 12, which indicates the number of months in a year, which the four seasons, which corresponds to the four elements, each including 3 months. 3 times 4 equals 12. Finally, it represents the 12 disciples of Christ. And now if you add 3 plus 4, you're back at 7. Finally, we'll consider the number 13. And this is when I knew that I was supposed to share this with you. When I got to this, I didn't even read the other ones that I just garbled up the words and the people's names. But my eyes were brought to this, which is on page 31. Okay, page 31. We will consider the number 13. Okay, it's the number 13 and it's on page 31. See, I knew there was some significance of 31. Ashe. So feared and sometimes resonated, but undoubtedly magical. Many consider it a bad omen, but we believe the opposite because it is the number that represents karma, which can be good or bad, positive or negative, according to our behavior. And good karma is referred to as dharma, Dhmara, right? We should consider that only through karma can we make amends for past mistakes, which is positive and essential for our own development. Superstition deems it harmful, perhaps because of the Last Supper of our Lord, when he shared a last meal with the 12 disciples. But they forget that number 13 was the Redeemer himself. And I was having this conversation with Kada yesterday. And that precisely because of his good karma, if we may call it such, he came back from the dead and sits at the right hand of our Father according to the Bible. Ashe. Ashe. And yesterday I was saying to Kada that if Mary was of the house of David, David was of the line of Adam. Adam was the first man, right? God blew his breath and created Adam, right? God made flesh. People want to say, well, David did bad things and God still, rewarded him and, because he had stolen Bathsheba from her husband by sending him out to war and then, sending him out to war and then, causing him to get killed and taking his wife, right? So that is horrible, right? And people have said, well, he did that and he still became the greatest king, right? Yes. And he was repentant. He wrote the book of Psalms. Those songs to the Lord, right? Those prayers, the Beatitudes, things like that. All of the writings, right? And his line, right? And how David's line ended up in Mary, who's the mother of Jesus, right? So, therefore, if we believe in reincarnation, all right, and I just read it out of the book, so I'm not making this up. It's been thought of before. If we believe in reincarnation, then, and karma, and repeating cycles, right? Traveling with your twin flame and all of this. If you traveled with your twin flame through centuries and generations, don't you think that Adam and Eve may have done the same thing themselves? So maybe Adam came back through his lineage over time. Maybe he was Noah. Maybe he came back as David. Maybe he was Moses. Okay, maybe, I don't know. Maybe he was David. Maybe he was Lot. Who knows? But he could have come through as David, came back through as David. Stay with me, folks. and then reincarnated as Jesus. Hmm? And just as they just said, paid his karma. Because karma is eternal and it is just. And then he was able to come to return to himself and sit at the right hand of God. Because in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was made flesh and lived among us. The Word is at the right hand of God. So we're talking about that same energy. That same energy. Okay, well. The Tarot of the Orisha. Okay, this goes on to talk about the deck itself. Okay, but up to what I had read, again, superstition deems it harmful because of the Last Supper of our Lord, when he shared a last meal with his 12 disciples. But they forget that number 13 was the Redeemer himself, and that precisely because of his good karma, that we may call it such, he came back from the dead and sits at the right hand of our Father, according to the Bible, because you earn your good karma and your bad karma through your incarnations, right? And Jesus achieved the right through his incarnations, Christ, to return and sit on judgment at the right hand, right? And we weren't left alone because we have the comfort of his presence and the ability to tap into that energy when we accept that story, right? When we accept that mindset. They said mindset. Okay. They really want me to say this, and I really don't want to. Oh, God. Okay. Anyway, again, this is about the patriarchy. All of this is tied into the patriarchy. We know that the Bible has been adjusted and translated and passed down and, preserved and destroyed in certain places, and certain Bible texts, Holy Scriptures texts we're not privy to, or were lost allegedly. We know at some point King James needed the text to, correlate with the culture at the time, let's say. And so things were changed and, made easier, simpler to understand for the people at the time, and translated, and they did their research and, because they did hold it important, but, there may have been some editing, all right, but that's for you to talk about, amongst yourself with your pastors or whomever. I'm not getting into that. Not this one. Oh no, please don't take me there. So anyway, we have this time to reflect on where that patriarchal system, where has it helped us and where has it failed us? Because we know people use the Holy Scriptures of any religion to justify good and bad behavior, right? In every religion. So let's not, be, beaten up on Christianity or, Judaism, because there's some not so nice things that go on in other scriptures, from what I understand. And there have been other translations of the Holy Scriptures since the King James Version. And so some of them have been edited to correspond with the there's a word for it. What is the doctrine? Okay, the doctrine of the organization that it is associated with. So you'll see different words that may mean the same on the surface, but actually, once you dig into it, it's different, But that's on you to, we, us, ourselves, you divine feminine, you divine masculine, you star seed, light work, or whatever, to look into that yourself. So that's another thing you could be working on, learning some of these words and not being daunted by the Old English and things like that. Some people don't like that because it reminds them of Shakespeare and that kind of thing. Okay, fine. But you can take this time to try to understand it or figure it out. What does that mean? Or how would you say it in a way that I could understand it? That's what I have dictionaries, have concordances, you have the internet. Because if you listen to this, you have access to the internet, right? So you don't have to keep watching, the updates and the bulletins, because they're there. So you don't have to watch them all the time because if you don't watch it between now and 11 o'clock, if you just tune into it like you would be watching the regular news, 7 in the morning, 5 or 6 in the evening, and again at 11, if you do it like that, you'll be caught up. You'll get it. Give yourself an hour at night, an hour in the afternoon, and an hour in the morning, and then try to focus on different things, right? Again, the blockages need to be examined, and this is the time to make those decisions. Would you want to be confined with your partner if you had to be all this time? The person that you've been dealing with, the person that you've been loving and waiting for, would you want to be confined with them forever, really? With no outside company? No distractions? Just two of you? Some of you, that'd be fine. Some of you, that would be okay. For others of you, be like, no. But for others of you, you'd just like to give it a try. You'd like to find out. You'd like to test the waters. Ashe. And others of you, you fine with it. Both sides. You just got stuck in the matrix of the coronavirus lockdown. So we are looking, okay. Look at this. All right. 3 cards from the Numerology deck. We have the first card, number 14, moderation. 1 and 4 is 5. 5 is man, right? That's what the book just told us about it. And this is not even the book that goes with this deck. So moderation, number 14. You should see me. I'm holding it like y'all can see me. Whatever. Number 14, moderation. Number 5. 5 is change, and it represents man. So, change to humanity. Moderation, slowing down. Shares 44 when I said that. 44 minutes into this recording. Interesting. And the next card we got was number 37, time out. Time out. 3 plus 7. That is 10, right? And that's 1. So again, taking it back to the beginning. A pause. Time out for humanity. And the third card that fell, 78. physical, spiritual career. Wow. 7 and 7 is 14. This is how I have to add, y'all. Don't laugh. 7 plus 7 is 14. That's 1 plus 5. And then 8. One more would be 8. Okay. So this would be 6, right? Yeah, 6. 78 would be 6. Spiritual career. Love. 6 is love, right? Moderation. Time out. Spiritual career. What is your service? What is your purpose? What is happening going forward in your love life, in your spiritual life, your relationship with your higher self, your relationship with the Creator, whoever it is that you entrust your immortal soul to, whatever doctrine you adhere to. It may be changing, it may be solidifying during this time period, but these cards that I got, these 3 cards, which would be 5 plus 1 and 6. 6 and 6 is 12. 12 is 3. So again, we're back to the number 3. Perfect. Creation, right? Ashe. Wow. Anyway, yeah, we need to, that's just what I'm getting intuitively about what they want us to consider during this time. You don't have to do anything because, again, this is all free will, right? Number 14, which is moderation, indicates a need to exercise self-restraint and self-control in every area of your life. Perhaps you are overeating, drinking too much alcohol, smoking, over-medicating or taking drugs, overspending, exercising excessively, consuming too much sugar or coffee, gambling, or otherwise overindulging or engaging in obsessive or aggressive behavior. If so, this card serves as a gentle and loving reminder that behaviors such as these can delay the manifestation of your dreams. This card also indicates a need to balance your desire for freedom and adventure with your responsibilities. Oh, wow. This is so wild. Okay. Because by honoring your commitments, you will prevent the buildup of karmic debt. By choosing to live as your higher self rather than giving into your lower tendencies, you align with Source and with the intentions of your soul. Everybody has a shadow side that needs to be acknowledged, embraced, and loved. But when you learn to rise above it, you can make your dreams come true. All right? In order to improve your current situation, you're being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythm and cycles of your life. Cycles that are encouraging you to exercise temperance and moderation. Have the courage to seek professional or divine assistance if needed. You don't have to go it alone. You can call upon your heavenly helpers for inner strength and courage. So you are not alone. Even if you are alone, you can always call on the divine for inner strength and courage. The affirmation: with temperance and moderation, I create balance in my life. With temperance and moderation, I create balance in my life. Ashe. For some of you, temperance is important because some of you are Sagittariuses or you're dealing with a Sagittarius. That might be important for me to let you know. And strength is Leo, so some of you could be dealing with Leos and Sagittarius, so you have that in your chart. So that may be important to you. So, time out. Number 37, time out. And we said that was 1. 37 is on page number 73, which is 37. All right, and this is by Michelle Buchanan anyway. I meant to say that also. The Numerology guidance cards. These are the cards that I'm using. All the information about the cards will be in the description underneath this message. Okay, this card indicates a need to take a time out from your busy schedule and the hustle and bustle of life. Perhaps you've been working too hard or have had a lot going on. Maybe you've been tired and irritable and anxious or just generally feeling unwell. If you've been under stress of any kind and have been spending time in a negative or toxic environment, you must remove yourself from the situation to heal and to recharge. This is the perfect time to take a vacation. Yeah. Even a day or two away will revitalize and recharge your soul. You don't necessarily need to leave your home. You could laze around your house and unplug your computer and your phone. Having an energy healing, massage or facial, soaking in a hot tub, taking a walk in nature, watching a movie, and reading a good book are perfect ways to unwind, to center yourself, and to feel a sense of renewal. There's nothing that says that you can't take a bath, right? If there's nothing that says it, take one, right? If you have access to a bathtub, you can take a shower, a long one, a hot shower or a cold shower for some of you, right? And take a walk outside. Maybe you can't go too far, but some of you have land. You can walk around your house, or you can just walk to the corner and come back, walk to the trees, you know. If no one's out there, you see people in the street, walk around them, you know, don't, you know, wave from a distance across the street, you know. Take precautions, keep your distance if you can, but take advantage of it, right? And maybe you could go out a little later than you normally would, but maybe not, you know. And when you go out, take your cell phone with you, especially if you go out at night, and keep it like on Facebook Live or something like that. That's a suggestion. People might want to heed that, or at least be talking to someone who's watching in case something goes on, because it might get a little crazy. We don't know how long this is going to go, and we know the summertime, things get hot. So it's a perfect time to take a vacation, take an energy healing, have a massage, hot bath, go watch a movie, read a good book. These are perfect ways to unwind, center yourself, and feel a sense of renewal. And for those of you who have Netflix accounts, check out that movie about Madam C.J. Walker. It is inspiring for women, your daughters, yourself, whatever, black or white. And also I felt enlightening because I felt her husband's pain. I could understand exactly how he felt, as I could understand how she felt too, but there needs to be a balance. So you can, in my opinion, so I looked at it objectively. But you all look at it and make your own opinion of it, okay? Anyway, in order to improve your current situation, you're asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythms and cycles of your life that are encouraging you to take time out just for you. If you're feeling overwhelmed or uncertain or confused, the answer will present themselves during this quiet time. Clarity comes from silence, and order follows peace. So step away from the stress and find your inner sanctuary. The affirmation is, I take time out for myself and rebalance my body and my life. Ashe. They just started mowing that. They've been mowing back there. I realized that maybe y'all can hear it. So I apologize for that. That's why that's why my voice rose while I was saying that. And I guess everybody is doing their yeah, okay. Everybody's husband's home and everybody's mowing the lawn at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Or they got sick of their kids and sit outside to mow the lawns. Ashe, I hear you. Okay, something to do, right? And the last card was number 78, spiritual career. Ashe. This card indicates an opportunity to embark upon a career in the mind, body, or spirit arena. This could be a full-time or part-time venture. It's entirely up to you. And this was on page 105, and 105 is 6. And I said that this added up to 6 too. Okay, 78 equals 6, and this is 6. Ah, shit. Anyway, here we go. All right, so this card indicates an opportunity to embark on a career in the mind, body, spirit arena. This could be full or part-time. It's entirely up to you. You may already know, or you may already have the credentials to begin this work, or you may require further study before you are ready to start. Whatever your situation, this card is a confirmation that you have genuine talents and abilities that need to be put to good use. You may decide to work as a clairvoyant, a life coach, a homeopath, a healer, and see clients from your home, or try your hand at being a card reader, a numerologist, or astrologer at your local mind, body, spirit shop or fair. You may choose to be a writer of inspirational books or blogs, or conduct workshops in the community. Regardless of what you choose to do, and however big or small the scheme, you can turn it into a career with potential for success. In order to improve your current situation, you're being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythm and cycles of your life, cycles that are leading you to embark upon a spiritual career. Only you know when the time is right, but no matter what, you must believe that you will succeed. Remove the limiting beliefs that are preventing you from moving forward. Release your Release your anxieties and trust in the divine. When you focus on being of service rather than about your worries or your doubts or your fears, the universe will send you opportunities to serve. And the affirmation here is, I serve the greater good and I am given all that I need. Ashe. So, folks, a spiritual career, time out, and moderation. So, during this time, take care of yourself. Take it easy. Take it easy, they said. Take it easy. Make it easy on yourself, they said, too. Oh, that's a song by Dionne Warwick. Make it easy on yourself, because breaking up is so very hard to do. Oh. For some of you, that is what this is. But actually, it's just a time out. It's just a time out for some of you. But for a lot of you, this is a breakup, and that's why that came through. Make it easy on yourself, because breaking up is very hard to do. And that must be a confirmation, because I came across a video of Burt Bacharach, and he wrote that for Dionne Warwick when she was young. She was a young singer, one of her hits. And I didn't watch Burt Bacharach's interview, but I did see his face and I saw his name. And I didn't even know he was still around. I don't even know if he was still alive. Ding. Okay, I guess he is. Because I didn't even look at the video. I just saw his name and I saw his face and I was like, wow, okay. And that was yesterday. So now when I'm doing this, it came to me. This is how this thing works. You get downloads and you take note of things, at least for me. I take note of things, and things, just random things, make an impression somewhere, and then later on, it comes back, something associated with it, and then it gets confirmed somehow. It's amazing, and it really kind of is, and it's surprising, and I can't explain it, but it's like, ooh. Bliss, that's all. It's a feeling. It's just a feeling when you're like, oh, it's like you solved a puzzle that you didn't even know you were trying to solve. Yes, okay. You solved a puzzle. You solved a mystery that you weren't even trying to unravel, or in some cases you were. But a lot of the time, it's like they start the puzzle for you during the day, or at least for me, and then they help me connect the dots, and then they confirm the dots, and then I get a ding sometimes. So a lot of the time, and I thank my ego. I thank my ego, and I thank my ancestors. I thank, and I'm so grateful for the Creator. I'm so grateful for my life. I'm grateful for my children, my family, my mother, my father, my brothers and sisters, near or far. I pray for them all. My nephew, my grandchildren. I'm covering you in protection. All my loved ones, my family members, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, my second cousins, and my Ancestry.com Discovery cousins, and my play cousins from Brownsville, and my friends and my co-workers, my neighbors, all of us. I'm just asking for protection for all of us, for comfort for all of us. Yes, we already have the comfort. Yes, we do. Thank you. Yes. And mercy. Yes. Yes. Both ends of this country, we have comfort on one end and mercy on the other. Right? I say the ships that came in, mercy and comfort. So we're being sent mercy and comfort at this time. Okay. So, and right now there's 3 ships, right, off the shore. There's 1 ship that's waiting to come in from Florida. I wonder if there are any other ships out there near the U.S. If not, that would make 3 ships on 3 sides of the U.S. Right, because the other side of the U.S. is Canada, so we don't have a 4th side unless you go to Alaska. Who knows what's going on over there? But for purposes of this entertainment right now, yeah, that ship that's off the coast of Florida, they didn't let it port yet. I think, I don't know. We have to pray for everybody around the globe. Pray for the wisdom of our leaders and the silence of the sheep. That's what they said. The silence of the sheep. No longer the silence of the lambs, the silence of the sheep. That's what we pray for. Okay. Is that His Spirit? Thank you for letting me share this message with you. I didn't have any idea it would be this long. But you ain't got nothing else to do. This is something else for you to do. Right? Listen to me. Get cozy. Relax yourselves. And I guess whenever I'm feeling like sharing these messages, I can do it like this because y'all don't have to see me and I don't have to worry about what I'm looking like and, what my room's looking like and any of that. I could just give you the message because it's not about me. It's about you getting the message. And it's about Spirit giving the message to you for the collective, for everybody. So be well. And don't forget to move. All right? And check out that video. I was dancing yesterday. It was kind of cool. Lots of my friends on Facebook, they were enjoying it. So maybe you'll enjoy it too. All right? And post some videos of you dancing, and exercising and being happy during this time. All right? There are more things for you to do. There are gifts that you've been given that have a lot to do with your journey, not as a twin flame or romance. Once you balance the male and female, the masculine and feminine within yourself, you're enough. You are enough. You are enough. For you, it doesn't matter whether or not anyone else accepts you. It's about you knowing that you are enough for this world. Ashe. Thank you so much. And I'll be talking to you guys real soon. I love you. Peace. Ashe.